Hey guys, it's John and welcome back to The Letter. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people. Those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxbourne. I was afraid too. At one point, back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows, he never tells. Hang on, I gotta get rid of these news real quick. Okay, cool. We knew that. Good. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep, looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to his friend's frustration. Although he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
Wow, okay, they just suddenly appeared there.
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Huh?
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth, the edges of my vision blur. In the distance, amid the countless, nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmurs gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just, okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street. Where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be peering at me. Nothing. Excuse me. There's only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked our ride home. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Okay, bye Zach.
Yeah, see ya.
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what will help me sleep tonight, what will give back that normalcy, then so be it. Okay. So we're on the next day now. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in and without warning, I'm falling. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders are aching from me having fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. There's those instant noodles, right? I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxbourne, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone? The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to?
What time is it?
Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my towel?
Admittedly, it's a weekend, and as an unspoken rule, that entitles me to extra few hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh lord, one box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. I hate that feeling. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore or answer it. What if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss. Oh, the one who called you a noob? Right? Ah, sheesh. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. The caller ID reads, Mama.
Huh?
Huh? Oh, sorry, she said that. It's around 4:45 in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Grace?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good, we're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
Wait, why is she calling me Grace? Is that like my middle name, or is Isabella my middle name? Grace Isabella? I don't know. There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I could do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are, Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well, 8, Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach, and from the way Mama's voice hitches, she also doesn't want to bring it up.
Papa. Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. Used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Not gonna lie, this isn't exactly what I signed up for when I decided to play this horror visual novel. But anyway, now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little, accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I think the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie, yet look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition for the next semester, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Ah. What? When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the sole person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile through Mama. Damn, I smile though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end. The sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, all right?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away from my head the thoughts beginning to swim inside. It's pointless to mull over these things right now. Hey, don't forget you're late.
Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something. No, it's not Mama.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
It's Rose!
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god,
Sir
oh god.
John.
I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, all right? I'll tell you everything then.
There's the telltale din of several feet shuffling against a wooden flooring and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone to my bed and finish my shower in record time. Score! It's the little things, you know? I make it to the office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxbourne office, greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is Seed? Where are my employees?
That's Sir John, huh?
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
Is that our first swear? I think that might be our first swear. My boss's words turned muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload have been shifted to all available staff so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork into my hand without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up. My eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. Is it the chain letter? Oh, a purchase and sale agreement. Ooh, Rose sold it! She sold it! Rose simply gestures her thumb towards our visitor lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
Yeah, they fucking offered to buy it yesterday, but you said no. She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do. And now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed. Yet, documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Okay, sorry. butchered that sentence, along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house.
Wow.
I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer.
It's true.
I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
I'm sorry, but I just have to, I understand why I would look at the journal. I don't like the little, like, new thing that pops up here. I understand why I would look at it when I've already, it's just gonna recap what we've already played. All right.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
They're the original owners, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
They're ghosts. They're ghosts. They're dead. They're dead.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose is dead. I'm dead.
I was so sure we lost the sale after
I
yesterday.
know. Somebody's dead, though. I know that much for sure.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling she's heading back to them, and unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. Doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having the boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood, much to the entire office's relief. I guess they haven't designed Sir John, because he doesn't get a visual. Ma'am Hana calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. Story updated, okay. She welcomes me with a bright smile. Her movements more open than what one will typically expect from a passing client to have. Actually, you know what? There was a little butterfly when it said story updated. Like the butterfly effect. If you've seen Life is Strange, you know what I'm talking about. Makes me wonder if this was like due to a choice that I made. I don't think so, because I don't know, maybe though.
Oh, Isabel, how are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. Shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them a copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
I guess time moves kind of slower when you've been alive for hundreds of years. Isn't that right, Mrs. Wright? What? Ma'am Hana skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process that goes into contracts like these. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they are buying, or he simply finds such paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hana claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I released the breath we had been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there." Oh, look at her, she's got the angry brow going on.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
A helipad. What the hell?
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handle it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts.
What was that story update? Did I make a choice that is affecting this right now?
It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget,
She discreetly folds something into both of our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
Story updated again. Weird.
Did I mention we reward our people generously?
But this is. Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that. Transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents will kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission is big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal's been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. Whap, whap. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, they're something.
Yeah, they're dead.
So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
Invest it. She slings an arm over my shoulders. What is it with them and the shoulders? Leans in closer to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
Oh, okay.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Yes, Sherlock. It must be, mustn't it? Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, regardless of how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of curiosity, I never pressed on the matter further, but perhaps it is where the notion of fondness... Where'd I get the word notion from? But perhaps it is where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a casual wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also headed out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one can consider taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. Yeah, let's all hang out. Yeah, fuck the whole horror aspect of this visual novel. Time to hang out and build social links. Like we're playing frickin' Persona. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. I've got Ash pretty high though. Huh. I guess this is just what normally happens. Ash, on the other hand, can't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. What? He's at it again. Right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We've agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I usually frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. I'm never saying no to free stuff. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like the small building's facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces in a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end. But even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and is engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same thing when there's something funny, but there's distance. The kind born purely out of differing interests. That, or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that means nothing against Becca's temper. Oh, whatever. I don't buy that for a second. Ooh, she gets mad. Real scary. Even I am a little scared of her. Why? People are weird.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened?
How is she scared? Why are you guys wearing the same clothes the next day? Come on.
I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. I'm still trying to find the proper words for this. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. He's literally a meat and potatoes kind of guy. Today's a good day. Great even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right? I don't think this is what Rose meant by ordering like a little cupcake or whatever you're gonna get, but
Today's special. For the three of us.
I'll get an extra cupcake. Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves without comment. Becca furrows her brow in consternation, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare Becca sends me reminds me of the one I got from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 summers ago. 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. Yeah, apologizing kind of ruins the punch. But Becca's far from being my mom. A small sheepish grin is enough to dissolve that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the Daily Specials board says. I'm just gonna mention this here. This sounds awful, just to me. Just throwing it out there. If you're gonna treat yourself, I don't know why you would get this. Get some cheesecake or something. God, live a little, Isabella, damn! Never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since they price whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're not, though. You're not even close. So, kind of trivializing third world hunger there.
You're always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
This is an anime and we love food.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Yeah, I skip breakfast every single day. All right? It's not a big deal. Who gives a
Not
shit?
on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
Damn, why are you friends with Becca? She's insufferable.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. My instant noodle days are over. Just say that.
Okay, let me do that again.
Okay, good. It went up for both of them.
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer puzzlement to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos
Right.
and free from my instant noodle binge.
Okay, I forgot that we saw her full name earlier. Grace is her middle name. She has like 8 names. So weird.
Whoa, seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Aslam Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's... wow.
I know. She lets out an audible hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we won't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth, one after another, before I can stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
Yeah, it's weird.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more likely. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'll only fret.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
Oh, really, Zachary?
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house.
What kind of hippie bullshit is that? I'm surprised you accepted it.
If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday.
I wouldn't have accepted free money. I know he doesn't have glasses, but...
That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
Oh, very spot on impression.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
My dog's name is Belle.
Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't agree with this taking their food bit.
In all seriousness, though, I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to fully smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange having to talk about this with other people, even those who has known you long enough. Okay, there are some translation errors in this game. I've been trying not to comment on it, but it's just tense. It's just weird tensing. There's no like misspellings that I've noticed, but it's just weird tensing, like plurals going with singulars and that kind of thing. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laughter here, a playful jab there. Most of it is spent on catching up on the others' new projects or whatever keeps us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic today. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the whole time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay.
I just can't believe that you accepted that extra money.
No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Bummed?
Is it about the reviews this morning?
Oh. A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her motions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a momentary shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. At the end of the day, it's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
All right, well, if we don't need to, let's move on. Change the subject.
Bad?
Okay.
Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
I don't know what that word is. Oh, oops, what happened? If you right-click, you go to the save game screen. That's interesting. From how her tone rises in anger, it seems she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down on as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
What does that mean? What's that word mean?
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out dribble, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Becca wouldn't last a second on YouTube. I'm just saying.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Imagining her like flipping out at every comment. What? I don't know how I'm bringing these up. I don't mean to. If you do the scroll wheel, it brings up the backlog. Okay, I'm learning new things.
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I haven't even noticed when I've risen from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher will at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I don't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He of all people should know.
If you give up now, how do you know you won't make a name for yourself creating films in the future? It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining in this situation? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I have not read what those people wrote against his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know. After all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class, but I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
I've been riled up literally this entire game, but okay. Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit.
I think that's my favorite portrait of Isabella, where she's like,
What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Favorite?
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
I'm lost. A burst of laughter comes from Zach. I wouldn't call that a burst of laughter. I would call that a chuckle, but to each their own.
Thanks, you two.
Oh, we cheered him up by fighting with each other.
I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all. Only a poor imitation of a puppy dog's eyes, if you can call it that one.
You promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys.
Okay, friends forever. Let's all put our hands in the middle and draw a smiley face on it.
Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Awards night ain't for another week.
Awards night? And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. I've still got time. I can still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely, once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything, inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Oh, making fun, huh? Cool, yeah, it's all a joke.
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
It's pronounced McCullough. Thank you, Rose. She states that as if it already explains everything. Then out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxbourne streets, betraying her cheerful greeting. All of which she says in a single breath that I could barely keep up and make out a single word. That I can barely keep up with or make out a single word of. But then that's a disastrous sentence. I don't know how to fix it. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next subject of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she has finally ran out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead, and
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye, thanks.
Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. She didn't even ask. Okay, so we're just leaving, huh? The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we depart from the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood and make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather. We're talking about the weather! We're talking about the weather now! For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxbourne remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fills the humid afternoon air. Can we get to the good stuff? Someday, sometime this millennium would be great. A small reminder of the things we've yet to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get her for it. Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turn my head to the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea, a hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arms, or her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after what I got. Not after I got what I want for Papa. Okay.
Oh no, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts into something twisted and she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from screams I don't even notice already coming out of my own mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings seem unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up. Anything to get the wretched sensation out of my gut.
You are screaming, having a fit! Zach, call someone!
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. Again with the shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Far from here. Away. The humidity's stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I want to be away from here. I break into a run. Whew. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. It's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company. The room is devoid of any other light source apart from the one streaming through the hallway and the windows. Even with the clutter I've accumulated over the years, the room feels a whole lot bigger than it commonly is. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Sorry, I can't help but notice that the clock says 5 o'clock, just like it said this morning. It's almost like they didn't change the time on the clock, which I think they should have, but anyway. Loud. So loud. If only there's a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I've left wide open. My gaze shifts over to the letter, sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter innocuously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. It hasn't brought you any trouble yet, really. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing she's real and might also go after the people I care about, I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish the gadget out from the mess of cushions and papers beside me, where I've carelessly thrown it earlier before taking a shower. Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling back because of this afternoon?
Thank you so much for spamming my inbox with the same message, scaredy cat.
I hate you.
Hey, Ash.
What's wrong?
I just had a long day. The couple who bought the house wanted us to finish processing the papers within the week. It's a little hectic, but we'll manage.
Really? You sold it?
Don't sound so surprised. I told you, you don't stand a chance. The rights won't take no for an answer. You've been on the losing end from the very start. Ha!
Ha! You
Whoever
can't
said I was
afford...
interested in the house in the first place?
Ha! You can't afford a multi-million-dollar home, loser. Ha ha.
But you said...
His snigger comes off as annoying to my ears, and I fight the urge to end the call right then and there. Stupid Ash.
You're such an ass. And just so you know, I'm not treating you to a separate celebration. Or ever.
No, that's just unfair. And here I was looking something up for you. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to Andrew?
I pause. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, considering how much he scoffed at the whole topic in the first place.
Is he okay with that?
Totally. Besides, I need to ask him about something. I might as well do it soon. What do you say you come with me tomorrow morning?
Well, there's no harm in it, I suppose. I've got a free day anyway.
Great, I'll just pick you up. Don't oversleep.
Don't compare me to you. I'm not the one who sleeps like a rock.
Another round of chuckles coming from him. Oh, I will live for the day he'll stop making fun of me. Just wait, you ashhole. As I'm about to press the button to end the call, he clears his throat.
And, Isabella?
The diffident tone in his voice sends my eyebrows shooting up into my hairline. Is the world ending today?
Yeah? Did you forget something?
Do you think we...
Spit it out, Ash.
Never mind. Good night.
You're gonna have a nosebleed? What's going on over there? He hangs up instantly. Rude. Completely rude. I didn't even get to thank him. The busy tone, though, muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. And that seems like a good place to end it for this part. We'll continue playing the letter in the next video. Let me know what you think about this so far. At least we had a creepy scene in this video. I know that there are 5 chapters to the game and we're still in chapter 1, so we're still kind of going through an introductory period where they're introducing the characters and introducing like new conflicts and like motivations, you know. Oh, my dad's sick. Oh, I've got 7 siblings or whatever. I gotta pay for them, and Zach's movie got bad reviews and all that stuff. But I want to get to the good stuff, and it's hard. Just the pacing is really, really slow at the moment. But I'm in it for the long haul, so no worries. If you're really digging it, we'll continue all the way through to the end. Because this is my shitposting channel, and I can post whatever I want here. So it's great. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.